So what did you want me to cover today? Just
A little bit of story.
a little bit of story.
And then also, I talked with Rick Exel, and I can tell you what he said about elevator pitch.
Oh, good.
I'm going to hand out some of this, and maybe I'll open one over there on that end, so you don't feel like you can't.
Yeah, do you want some more?
Have you already had lunch? Introduce your guests.
Yeah, sorry. This is my sister Susan, my niece Megan, and my grandniece Allie. They are on spring break. They're from Utah on their spring break, and they drove up today for pizza.
And Cheryl.
And they got here just as I was putting these in the oven, and I said,
What a surprise.
"Want to come with me?" Yeah, it's like bring your siblings and niece to work day.
So awesome.
This is what I do.
Cheryl and Bill have helped like the business department and BPA for multiple years, and he's one of the business professors on campus. And so they have had multiple. And since you played that business pitch, elevator pitch, I want to tell you what Rick Exel, so he works at Edward Jones here. And he said, this is what he said to me. He wanted to be able to come today, but he had a meeting in Pocatello. Has to be 30 seconds or less. Can't sound just like your competition's exact same pitch. Why would I say I'm a financial advisor and I help people invest? That's boring. When I could say I help people retire earlier or richer. Their choice. Which one would prompt more follow-up questions? So like it's initiating something. He said, you're looking for something to pique their interest and start a conversation instead of just to like dump. And he hopes that helps. We'll have him here at a different workshop, or he may judge. He knows more about the financial side of things, so he would be good for that. Okay. And so story, tell us a little bit of story, and I guess though we should have these guys introduce themselves just for a sec before that. Okay.
I'll start, I guess. My name is Lachlan. Is that it?
Yeah, tell us why you're here, Lachlan. A little bit about you.
I started a tiny little business, and I make clothes. I make hoodies out of quilts.
Oh, very cool.
So I'm hoping to learn more about how to expand my business.
Have you made money?
I have.
Do you want to tell us about how much money you've made? I'm not sure. Profit or sales, either one.
I think total profit, it's been like 2,500
Is that gross or net?
gross
After expenses or before expenses?
after expenses.
Oh, net. Good.
So
How long have you been doing it?
since October.
That's pretty amazing. That's a lot of sewing.
Yes, it is.
Have some jeans for me right now, but she's
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. All right, go around and just, even if you're not doing the business pitch, do you have a connection to me or to business? What are you here for?
I'm Kason Bingham. I actually also have a small business. I build log furniture. So,
Very cool.
yeah.
That's cool. I didn't know that about you.
Indoor,
Jason.
outdoor?
Mostly indoor, like bed frames and
Oh, that's really cool.
dining tables, coffee tables.
Nice.
Alright, I'm Ethan. I plan on going into business, so I just trying to soak in as much information as I can get.
Do you know what kind of business? Or?
Probably management or administration.
Okay. So you're looking at like a corporation or doing something small?
Yeah, I don't know yet. Well, we'll find out when I get there.
Okay.
Ethan and Kason and Lachlan all did BPA this year.
Oh, cool.
And Lydia.
Lydia.
Okay.
And then I'm Gecko. Lydia and I have actually been volunteering at the Legacy Flight Museum recently. And so on the side, with the entire airport, we're thinking of just starting like a little cleaning thing. Because there's an academy that just moved there as well. So lots of planes, especially ones ranging from World War II to Vietnam to current. And no one that wants to clean them. So
Right, because if you own a plane, you have enough money that you don't really want to clean, and you don't have to.
I had a guy recently who just asked me to clean for him, so I made $900 on one plane.
Yeah,
But
and I
now
bet
we're
he
gonna try
thought
to get
he
the
thought
bucket
he
list
got a
together.
bargain.
No, actually, he offered me the price first, and I just went with it because it was $50 an hour. So I spent 18 hours just cleaning what he wanted me to get done, and that's what he offered. I kept it. 'cause-
I bet he was delighted.
And so we're hoping she wants to join in on it, especially because with the museum, I mean, they have stuff to be cleaning all the time as well.
Yeah.
We're having, an air show coming up, and so it's gonna be bugs everywhere. So the both of us together are, clean for them, and then hopefully branch out and clean for other, people with the airport, because right now, our cleaning with the museum is actually free. And we get other services in return, but not monetary, so
Okay.
we're hoping to branch out to the rest of the airport, with name cards and all that sort of stuff.
And making connections by just volunteering there
I was
initially.
so excited when you said bugs.
I know, that was $900 worth of bugs. That was cool.
I'm sure it was a lot.
Yeah, so like you said, we're doing the pitch thing. I'm Lydia Woodall, current president of BPA Club, but yeah, I've kind of just been interested in business. It's something that I like to do because it's just fascinating to problem solve and figure out solutions for things. Yeah, we wanted to do this because we have connections and we think it would be something very profitable, mainly for the reason of there's not much competition and it's something that we both know how to do and can get our feet in. So.
No big startup costs there, right?
Never really.
We actually get offered a lot of our supplies. When I worked with the guy, he already had a cabinet pre-filled with stuff that he allowed me to use, so it didn't cost me anything.
It's almost pure profit, just labor.
Yeah, it was just labor.
All right, I dragged Dylan here.
Yeah, I'm Dylan. I don't own a small business or anything. I don't know. I think business is kind of interesting, and I'm in her Excel class, so
He just certified a few minutes
Oh,
ago.
so
Yeah.
you like spreadsheets?
I mean, I guess.
Don't worry about it.
So, yeah.
I just checked every other room in the entire room.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I know, I was also lost.
I just, didn't check the room number on the actual thing.
It's okay. Were they busy up there? Like they said they had interviews up there and they didn't know how long they would run, so.
I don't know what to
Here's a plate. We're glad you made it.
You're pulling out the other stuff. Okay. Okay, Ace, why are you here?
We've just all been kind of talking about.
Do you have a business idea?
Yeah.
What is it? Is it a secret?
No, you've basically seen it. You know how we used to have that massive stadium of food? Yeah. So, you know how it's big and bulky and
Yeah.
you had to store it that big. So mine's basically to turn that, but make it plastic so you can clean it easier. And then make it so you can take it apart and store it easier.
Nice. I love it. Stadium of food is awesome. Okay, so I guess I'll just tell you a little bit about how we got started. Mostly it was just backyard parties. If you ask Bill why pizza, because Bill got his start in the Air Force. I don't know if you guys have heard this. This part's sort of interesting. He flew the F-16 fighter and then flew the stealth bomber and then decided he was kind of done flying. So then he went to Harvard because he wanted to go into business. Didn't know anything about business, so he wanted to go to school. Obviously go to Harvard and got his MBA there. And then from Harvard he worked in kind of a small company. When he joined the company, they were in the Inc. 500. So that's like the fast-growing small businesses in the country, and they make cancer diagnostic equipment. So for about 8 years, he was working there, doing kind of in a leadership development program. So he worked with the leadership for a while, did a year doing sales. I called him a traveling salesman, and he kind of covered the Intermountain West selling diagnostic equipment. And then after he was done with that, they said, okay, make a machine that does this, and then get people to buy it. And so for about 4 years, he basically kind of ran his own company with someone else paying the bills, doing all the overhead bit. They were just like, okay, we want a machine that does this. We'll allocate you 2 scientists and a marketing person, and then you just go get people to buy it. And then he did that for a few years, and then he got an offer to teach at BYUI, teaching business. So when he quit his job in the cancer diagnostics company, his boss was like, can you stay on a little bit longer? And he's like, I mean, I can, but I'm closing on my house. I'm not going to be super productive. And they're like, that's okay. Just answer the phone, because nobody really knows what you do. You just kind of made money and we left you alone. So that was kind of his experience with working in industry. And kind of a big, and as he was working there, his small company got acquired by a very large pharmaceutical company. So he's kind of had experience with that also. And then he teaches here, and on the side, he just loves pizza. Just loves pizza. And so what started as like backyard parties kind of morphed into doing farmers markets. And that was just kind of us testing the waters to see if there was enough demand or interest in Rexburg, especially for, this is the New York style pizza, but I know you've had the Neapolitan. Have you guys had the Neapolitan style? And it's different. It's weird. Like, if you're just from middle America, rural America, you get the Neapolitan style and you're like, it's burnt, it's floppy, it's wet. So we're like, is there even demand here for that? Which is why we did farmers markets for a while. And then there was demand, or we felt like there was, so then we had a large hand in building the current building we're in right now. We don't own it, but we helped design it. And so we've been at that location 5.5 years. We travel a lot. We just got back from Las Vegas, where Bill was, he got first place in our region for he just made a sausage and pepperoni pizza. And then there's kind of it's a very prestigious team in the pizza industry. It has right around 50 members, and he was just made a member of the team this year. But like, if you were to ask pizza people, like, who's the most famous pizza maker in America, it's the guy who founded the team. And we just hang out with him because we can. So, yeah.
And I saw on your website, like, those awards at the bottom.
Yes.
Now you
and there will be
got
more.
a lot of things
And now
to
he's a
claim.
world pizza champion, team member. That's what the team's called. And then on Saturday, we're leaving for Italy to compete again. Elliot Gaylor and Owen Gentry are coming too. They paid their own way, and they're coming to compete, and we'll see how we do. And then in June, we're going to Naples to compete there. And so these were sort of my not very good practice pizzas.
Oh, they were
Because I'm
delicious.
competing in the American division in June. And they're okay. I could tell you all of the things that are wrong with them. None of these are award winners, but I'll get there. So, so we have roughly 25 employees. Our turnover for a while was really, really low, but we kind of had this initial cadre with the first 4 years that we were open, that we kind of got people like their freshman year, and then they worked all through college. So about 4 years into being open, we had sort of a mass exodus of people that had graduated. But our tenure was, I think, it was something like 260 days or something, which for a food industry company, that's really a long time to have an employee. But our turnover is actually pretty low. We hire very, very slowly and carefully, and because we'd rather be understaffed with really quality people than have too many people that don't care about doing a good job.
If you were in my class and you ever heard me tell this story about the firewood,
Oh!
can you tell that little story?
I
Then
don't
this
know if I
is the
remember.
company that,
You need to tell me.
well, just that
There's been a lot of fire.
when you have people coming in for
test.
interviews,
Oh,
the
it's
wood test.
We called it the wood test, yes. Because what we would do, we used to burn wood. There's a whole story behind why we don't anymore. It's not important and it's boring. But we had all this wood stacked up, and what we would do, because it wouldn't be the person doing the interview or me or Bill, like somebody that they knew, like paid the bills.
Would matter to
we
impress.
would pick like the person doing dishes, and we would say, go out there, and they'd have a stack of wood, and then they'd fall, they'd accidentally trip, drop the wood somehow, and then we'd see how the candidate would react to it. Because we can teach you a lot about making pizza, a lot of like just the different ways we want things done, but we can't teach you to be a kind and a caring and a compassionate person. We can't teach you to look at others' needs and help them. And so there were many, many people who did really well in the interview, and then the person would trip in front of them, and it would usually be it would look super embarrassing to the person dropping the wood, and they would, look up from their phone like, well, it's too bad to be you, and then get back to their phone. And then most of the employees that we had didn't know they had been tested. Because we're like, oh, hey, we're interviewing somebody, can you go do the wood test for them? And they'd be like, the wood test, what? Like, remember when you were being interviewed and that guy dropped the wood in front of you? And they're like, that was staged? Yeah, and you passed.
And that's why you got hired,
Yeah.
one of the reasons.
So one of the reasons is, yeah, we kind of do a character test when we're choosing who to hire. So, yes, and you don't have a whole lot longer. I feel like I've rambled on.
I think it's great. I really appreciate it.
So what questions do you guys
Students,
have?
yes. And do you want to try your elevator pitch on each other or on
Yeah, you
Cheryl?
could.
Or like we could line up and and even if you're not in the contest, you could think of something to pitch.
I have a question.
Yes,
So how long did it take for you guys because your husband got his MBA at Harvard,
yes.
so how long did it take from him getting his MBA to you guys founding Righteous Slice?
He graduated in 2006. We started selling pizzas to people we didn't know personally in 2013.
Okay.
And then we opened our physical location in 2018.
Okay.
But he had that whole corporate thing in between.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was part of it, because all Harvard really taught him was that starting your own business is a bad idea.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily, but you really, and especially, as we were talking about that the other day, that food businesses, and I have a friend who does a lot of our maintenance and stuff, and like handyman services are some of the businesses that go under really quickly, because someone will be like, oh, I make pretty good chili, I've got my grandma's recipe and I can get people to buy it, but they have no idea how much it costs them, how much they're paying in like fixed cost, overhead, things like that you really need to kind of nail your numbers down to make sure that you're actually making money.
And how did you nail those numbers down?
Bill went to Harvard, so he does spreadsheets. So yeah, a lot, and that's a lot of it, and
And then those farmers markets
The
probably
farmers
helped you
market.
practice things.
they helped us.
Before you
they
have big
did.
investment, you practice.
And that was strictly, literally a family business. So we have like 6 children, and when we started, the youngest was like 4. He wasn't very helpful. He was cute. He handed out like business cards, but and then the kids would fight and like chase each other. It was so embarrassing.
But you just kept going.
Every now and then, one of the kids would quit and like stand in the way. I'd be like, I quit. Can't work in these conditions. I'm like, okay, then move. No, I'm standing right here. It's like, no, how unhappy I am. So it's easier to hire people that can be fired.
What do you see in the future? Do you think you'll ever franchise?
I don't think we'll ever franchise with like the implications of a
quality is
franchise
really-
is different. We have
Are you
a
guys
letter
going-
of intent
Are you guys
signed
going to,
in
like,
Salt
visit?
Lake, but we'll see. We have
For a new an additional owner or
No.
something? No. For
we
you
would-
to,
So we currently have a manager, and our whole goal right now is to make it so that he's running it and we're minimally involved. Like basically doing all of the corporate HR, things like that, payroll, all of that stuff. And he just owns it all. And he does a pretty good job. He's very close to being kind of independent. And then, because we're looking at opening other locations only if we can keep the quality where we want it to be. So, yeah, right now, he does a pretty good job. And we got in a car wreck a couple of weeks ago, which is a whole different story. But never once did I worry about the business. Not even one time. The whole time we were in the hospital, we were home recuperating. Never once did I think, oh no, who's gonna make the schedule? Oh no, how is this gonna get done? It was already.
It takes a lot of training, doesn't it? Most businesses fail in the first 5 years, and for restaurants, that's even faster.
I think it's like 2.
And so this is really remarkable success, especially in a college town, but pizza in a college town works.
It's true. Done okay. Yeah.
Pitches, do you want to practice that? Do we want to choose a date? Are there any days Ace cannot make it? And then Ethan has a college class right now, so he's
you
not
should go.
here.
Oh, wait, Ethan. Okay.
A different Ethan,
I
he's
was like-
not even here.
I thought you were
He
Ethan.
saw me in the hall today and he was like, this is Kason.
Kason,
Oh, but then
sorry.
we do have, that
Ethan.
isn't Ethan, but a different Ethan.
I'm like,
Ethan
I thought-
Hathaway. So Ace, we had Lachlan, but any dates, so is that Friday and Saturday, those days?
2 to 9. I can't.
Oh, 5 p.m. to 9.
No, 5 to the 9.
Oh, the 5th through the 9th. Okay, so I'm just gonna mark
That's just
that
this
on
weekend.
here. like-
Yeah.
Okay.
Spring break is 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th.
Mhm.
And then I'm gone for band until the 18th, so I can go anytime after that.
So we could do like the 17th?
No, I'm
No.
gone through the 18th.
No.
Okay, you're going
Are you
straight like that.
19?
And you're back on the
Yeah,
19th?
no, I'm back on the 18th.
Okay,
So, yeah.
let's see. Do we want to do, so the first one that we have,
I can
I
do
want
that.
you to be able to invite people who are like welcoming and supportive of you. And the person who was at our last one, Justin Ellingford, he said, the judges should have a vote and so should the people who attend. And so that's gonna be our round 1, I think. We'll try for the 19th. Let's choose 2 dates. Can we say the 19th or the 20th?
I believe so.
Okay. So we will do that. Do you want to do it here at the school? Like in the library or, the media center, that upstairs conference room, or in here? And you can invite people and we'll have, let's see, today before you leave, tell me if you want to be on the list for the pitch, okay? And I think that's about all we need to do. We'll get judges, and then I'll get some kind of physical tickets, because on the ticket, the person needs to be able to vote. So we'll list your names, okay? And we'll make it a nominal, like a $1 thing just to come, because it's not about them, it's about making a commitment to come and to support you, basically, is what I think. And so you can tell family, friends, neighbors, and have them come and support you. Does that sound like a good plan?
Yep.
Yes.
Anybody have a better idea?
Wait, so you're
to
having
fix
like a
that?
round 1 and then the top go to like round 2?
That's what they suggested, is that the first one just be elevator pitch and maybe, like you could have some stuff on demonstration, like a demo, a display table of some kind. Does that sound good? And then you don't have to make a big presentation, but maybe everyone will go to round 2. I don't know. That's, I think, how we should start. Okay, so this is the paper to sign up for that night. Either that Friday or Saturday, the 19th or the 20th. Now, I'm gonna look at my calendar, because I have a bad memory.